Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan Jeanty, in the building. How about we figure out what to do with the Chicago Bears, eh?
I say okay.
That way. Not a bad way to start the day.
Not a bad way.
Just figure the Bears out. Solve all their issues that have been lasting for the last 100 years. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? What's good, y'all? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC in the building. Want to approach this episode a little bit different. We always come on here and we always talk about, oh, well, this is why this guy fits over this guy. This is why this guy makes sense over this guy. That guy sucks. But on today's episode, I want to come at it with a, why does each of these prospects fit the Bears at 10 kind of conversation? Be positive here. And yes, that means even you, Ashton Jeanty.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, boy.
Here we go.
Now I'm going to punch somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, the date is 3/19/2025. It's 7:04 in the morning. And running back at 10 may just make me throw up, but not today.
Get ready for it.
I don't like it.
It's coming.
I'm upset. But I got to be fair. I got to be fair to all parties involved.
That's right.
I do have it on good authority that this guy skins seals. So.
Oh, well, bring him on over.
Yeah, wow. You want the seal skinner out here.
Well, that's right. As long as he can give me 2,000 yards on the ground, I'm fine. Let's get all the seals.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Su Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Stop playing around with us. JC, what's going on, my guy?
Oh, man, feeling good, man. Good to see you again, Pat. I feel like we haven't done a morning breeze in about a week. Or at least I haven't. I apologize.
Well, I was going to say, mostly on you.
Really? Put my brakes. But no, man, good to be back on the show. And good to see all you lovely people in the chat. Ready to talk some running backs.
You son of I like Dennis here. Dennis, the Chicago kid, said Omarion Hampton at 10 if Genty's going. You know what?
You doggone right. That's what I love, Dennis. That's
you
right.
know what?
He goes at 7. We taking Omarion at 10.
We're getting a little out of body here. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm willing to walk down this singular path. Let's not get carried here. Let's start it off here, though, because I do think that we always end up talking about these draft prospects in like the absolutes or the worst ways to make somebody else look good. And I hate doing that. I hate when we do that with other players. Now, there's certain things that I do stand on, right, where, you know, I wouldn't take this guy over this guy. But let's just talk about it from a how does this guy fit with the Bears standpoint. And to me, let's talk about the hot names. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the people that make sense at 10, because there's one name that has run up the market here in Tyler Warren. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not mad at it. Ashton Jeanty has always been a name that's been up there. Armond Membou is one I think is worth talking about because it seems like he's going to be right around there for the Bears. And then James Jr. possible edge action there because of some Ryan Poles comments that were brought out in The Athletic that I thought were interesting and or were from the press conference that we were at. But
Gotcha.
Kind of talks to why he may want to still go on that defensive line there as well. And of course, listen, make your case for all your prospects in the chat as well. Make your case for all your prospects in the comments as well. Let's get a full-on draft breakdown going in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love. Let's start it off here. Let's start off with Ashton Jeanty. Georgia JC.
My favorite.
For sake of not puking. No, I'm kidding. Ashton Jeanty is arguably the number one running back that people are taught. I mean, not even arguably. He's the number one running back that people talk about coming off of the board. There's some speculation that he may go before the Bears even have an opportunity to really get to him. But if he is there at 10, there's a lot of people who feel the Chicago Bears should take him at 10. What is it about Ashton Jeanty that you believe fits the Chicago Bears?
I mean, look at everything that he did this past season at Boise State.
What a breakdown. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Look at what he did this past year in college and take that and translate to the Bears. No, 5'9", 215 pounds. If you want the production that we've been craving for quite a while on the ground game, I mean, he'll give it to you in droves. 2,600 yards overall, 29 touchdowns at Boise. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, is that because, he played against lesser competition? Well, I argue back and say, well, they pretty much played every game scheming to stop him, and they still couldn't. They loaded up the box, and they still couldn't stop Ashton Jeanty. Yeah. There's a lot of positives to why.
No matter who you play, nine in the box is not.
Like, come on, you're still dominating, and he had an all-out season. And so, how he actually improves the Bears, the pros to him being on the Bears, well, clearly he would fit, and he would be an upgrade over the guy that you absolutely can't stand. And apparently, Ben Johnson may be getting rid of a second time in DeAndre Swift. Is because he has the vision to see the open lanes. He has that home run speed to take it back to the house. He has that contact balance and able to bounce off tackles. And then continue to kind of get positive gain up the field. Those are things we didn't see with DeAndre Swift. As soon as you touch DeAndre Swift, he's going down. I mean, you one tap on the shoulder. Oh, all right, that's it.
Hey, DeAndre, I want to talk to you about something. There he goes.
Hey, all right. Let me stop for a second. And then the vision, obviously, that was an issue with DeAndre Swift. Couldn't see the open lanes. And maybe that's also a product of the offensive line needing to upgrade as well. But I mean, overall, you're getting a huge upgrade in your running back room, whether however you're going to use Roschon or Swift or keep them. And I think even if you keep a Swift, that would be a good tandem. We talk about Ben Johnson's utilization of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. That kind of speed, power, back and forth combination. That's technically what you would be getting kind of in the total package of Ashton Jeanty, but that's also what you would be getting if you were to keep Swift as your second running back to kind of spell him on those downs where he needs a breather and be that pass catching back that maybe Swift is a little bit better at in a game plan. But Ashton is a do it all guy. He can catch the ball out of his backfield. He can see the open lanes. He has the home run speed. He can knock you off, and he has the power. He possesses the yards after contact ability. Like he has everything that can be the upgrade. And I believe running back is probably the only one of the few areas now that need to have an upgrade on Bears. It would just be kind of like a prized possession type of thing to look good with the Caleb Williams, and there's that extra threat on the field along with the other weapons.
Yeah, I think even the internet hated your take there. No, I'm kidding. No, listen.
Whoa, what happened? Oh, I didn't hear.
Started getting a little chappy there at the end. No, listen. No. I think that here's the thing. I've made the case long term. I don't think Jeanty will be here by a second contract, and I would go get somebody else. But if you're talking about the right now, in the right now, Ashton Jeanty, somebody who can hit the ground, for lack of a better term, running. For Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears offense. And the one thing that I do like about him is everybody looks at the 2,000 yards from scrimmage last season and says, that's kind of who Ashton Jeanty is. Realistically, I look at the season before, 1,300 yards, still dominant on the ground. And when your entire offense is, let me turn around and hand this football off to you, that's kind of what you're going to get. But he got targeted 48 times. He caught 44 of those receptions for 578 yards. So can be a little bit of that pass catching back out of the backfield. He is somebody who I think does have that explosive speed, does have that next gear. Now, for me, when I look at Ashton Jeanty, the one thing that I do see, and I know a lot of people look at him and go, oh, he's just like Derrick Henry because he was breaking every one of those tackles that was going up against him. I think that's kind of where the college game and the NFL game won't mirror. That's where going up against, some of the accountants that you were playing won't translate to the NFL. But to me, when I look at Jeanty's game, the breakaway speed I do like, when the footwork I do like, the vision I do like. Now you're going to still have to go and get some offensive line help later on in this draft. I think you're still going to need some of that as well. I think you're still going to need some pieces for the future there, and you're still going to need to be able to have guys just in case certain guys go down on this roster. You're taking a chance with guys like Jonah Jackson. But, to me, the exciting part about if you were to get an Ashton Jeanty at 10 is that he's going to be able to hit the ground. He's going to be able to play the game of football at a high level. And honestly, I think that the one thing that really stands out about his game to me is his determination to kind of get to that next level, no matter who's in front of him. That's not always going to work in the NFL, but having that want to get there, I think a lot of times gets you that extra yard or two that oftentimes is all you need in the NFL game.
No, I totally agree with you on that. And here's where I'll give you grace as well. I'll meet you halfway here on the running back talk with Jeanty. All right. I'll be very realistic as to why I think you mentioned maybe you get a good 4 years out of him. The only things that I think are working against Ashton Jeanty when it comes to the next level is his size. He is stout and he is very compact with his size.
5'9", 250.
But 5'9" is on the short side.
That's
as
running
far as
back
running
height,
back.
though. That's running back.
I mean,
most running backs ain't 6 foot. DeAndre Swift is my height.
Derrick Henry. I don't know. Maybe
if I'm not mistaken, I think Saquon is my height.
Is he? Okay. All right.
Saquon Barkley not that tall.
I thought he was a little bit taller than
He
Ashton.
might be 6'1". That's all Saquon. He's 6. Yeah, he's 6.
Okay. All right.
Saquon is 6.
I was thinking maybe, some of the better running backs that are a little bit more durable, that have even kind of endured even through injury and are still capable of putting up good seasons, are kind of around that as well. Oh, Doug Key says Bucky Irving is 5'9". Okay, I see it.
Yeah, Bucky Irving was 5'9". Most running backs are still, they're around that
size.
Like it's not.
So that
could is a tall running back, and I think he is
taller. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that could maybe be something that over the years works against him, because also along with that, there's a lot of tread on him. I mean, with the amount of total yardage and the amount of usage that he's had in college, that could be something as well with his his playing style, and being sort of that battering ram, along with the elusiveness as well. The combination of that, you don't know how that will hold up long term, when it comes to, like you said, that second contract or the whatever the case may be after a couple of years or 4 years. And so that's the only concern I have. But outside of that, I mean, I love what he could potentially bring, as we talk about from the start of his career with the Bears.
I do love how that's a negative for Cam Scatterbo, but it's not for Ashton Jeanty.
Cam we're talking about more the positive. We're
talking about
we are.
No, listen, I think the one thing, like I said, is I would go into an Ashton Jeanty draft and say, well, you got your running back for the next 4 years, and this is who you're going to war with. Yeah, and we'll figure it out in 4 years.
Hey, around those 4 years, you can draft another running back while you got Jeanty, all right?
Oh, I'm telling you right now, I'm drafted probably 17 of them, all in the
jerk. Whatever.
Who's undrafted? Huh? Come on down. No, man, listen, the Jeanty conversation is interesting, but I think there's some other interesting names on this list as well. Let's take a look at Tyler Warren out of Penn State. Yeah. By the way, if you are in here, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Tyler Warren out of Penn State, a very, very big athletic tight end who I think could be a really good complement to Cole Kmet's game. Now, you would have to be very focused in on the tight end in this offense, and is that something that we're going to see the Bears do, I think is the question. But standing at 6'6", 261, my God, what a mammoth of a man. He's somebody who, receiving wise, I mean, listen, you're talking about one of those. He is not Brock Bowers, but one of those Brock Bowers type of receivers. And listen, he has the size to still get active in that run blocking game. Has the size to still get active in the pass blocking game if you need him to. And to me, he's somebody that I think you could take a serious look at 10. Now, again, y'all know where I'm going at 10, but if Tyler Warren were the pick at 10, I would not lose my mind on that, because I do think that you are adding that modern day tight end into this game. And I think that's something that is under talked about on a lot of these championship teams. You know what I mean? A lot of these top teams have the big name tight end that they can consistently go to. Last year, of course, was Saquon Barkley as the number one guy. But you look at the Super Bowl before. I mean, you're talking about George Kittle and Travis Kelce being the names that are in there as far as elite tight end positions and stuff like that. So I would be very intrigued to see what Tyler Warren could bring to the Bears. To me, I think he does fit in very well with what Ben Johnson has done. We've seen Ben Johnson run some of that twin tight end scheme. The question that I would have was, what does that mean for the long term of Cole Kmet? Again, this is now 2 regimes since Cole Kmet has been drafted, right? Or was Cole Kmet under? No, yeah, there's 2 regimes. Cole Kmet was under Matt Nagy. Does he survive a second regime? Do they want Cole Kmet to stick around here? Is he the kind of tight end that they're looking to build the team around? Or does Tyler Warren take on more of those number one reps? Also, I continue to say we're not the ones that didn't throw the football to Cole Kmet last season. And Cole Kmet oftentimes was open. Is there a question on, is Cole Kmet the tight end that Caleb Williams wants in there?
That's a very good question. No, I mean, we don't know. I think that it's going to come a time where if we do go a different route and we do go tight end, I believe Tyler Warren is the type of player that's going to overtake him for his job. Tyler Warren is a prospect that I've continued to grow more fond of ever since we've been talking about him at 10. At first, it was like, that doesn't make sense. But if you were to fulfill all of the other needs, like you mentioned, we address the trenches more and more. And so, we could take the BPA at 10. Tyler Warren is, like you said, a very, first of all, huge, tough, size, athleticism, check. 6'5", 256 pounds. I love the comparison they give. I'm seeing a lot of pro player comparisons to Jeremy Shockey out of Miami. Everybody was just salivating over Jeremy Shockey coming out of Miami at that time. That was years ago, but I could see that because he plays with the
not
swagger.
A Hall of Famer. That's always my thing, bro. Give me a baseline of like this dude. Hey, similar. We always go Hall of Famer. Like
I'm just saying, Jeremy Shockey was. I guess they have the comparison that I see is the swag that they played with. And just like knowing that, hey, I'm the best player on the field. That's the vibe you get with the Tyler Warren every time, is that he knows he's the best athlete on the field and he's going to dominate. Toughness to win contested catches, can withstand contact, capable also as a blocker. All of the things that we've been asking Cole Kmet to do and more, I believe he can do even better as soon as he touches the NFL. And so for me, I feel like it's not even a compliment to Cole Kmet. I feel like this will be a competition if you were to get him in the building from day one, and then you're going to just see him kind of take over, and his air about him, his confidence is going to be the reason why you may have a problem with starting Cole Kmet over him, especially with Ben Johnson in this new regime, not necessarily having that tie, as you mentioned, to Cole Kmet, not drafting Cole Kmet. There's no reason why they wouldn't have a problem with replacing him immediately. We've seen some of the deficiencies with Cole Kmet. We've seen Cole Kmet catch a ball and look for the nearest tackler to take him down instead of gaining positive yardage. That's something Tyler Warren does. He goes up the field. He knocks you, he runs, tries to run through you. He has better speed, better elusiveness, better hands. And so that's what you're getting in the Tyler Warren to upgrade the tight end position. Now, is it a need? No, but I believe the running back and the tight end position right now are luxuries for the Bears. But that would definitely be an upgrade, especially for the short and intermediate routes for Caleb. That would be a pro for him when he's trying to get the ball out quick and he has no place to go. You know, you're trying to dump it off to the running back or maybe a tight end where Tyler can find those open seams in the defense and, you know, get a few positive yards. That's where I see Tyler Warren being an upgrade here.
Yeah, listen, I mean, the big thing I think that I like about Warren over what Cole Kmet has currently done is Warren's willing to go through guys. You know what I mean? It's so far and few between where Cole Kmet actually tries to. I think he tries to run people over, but it's like you didn't need to run a dude over right then. Like there was all this open grass over here you could have taken, and let me run you over real quick. No reason for that. Or he like tries to go through a guy and immediately gets wrapped up at the ankles, and you know maybe gets an extra yard here or there. But it's not like he's this big body tight end who people are bouncing off of, and it feels like that's what Cole Kmet should be at this point in his NFL career. Now, do I think that Cole Kmet has been utilized the right way the entire time that he's been here in Chicago? No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But what I will say is that the concern for me is this a guy that even Caleb Williams is looking to continue to have in the building? Not to say that he has a beef with him, but clearly there were moments last season where Cole Kmet should have gotten the ball and just didn't. And early on in the season, it felt like they had a good connection. That connection just magically went away all of a sudden. And you know, that's to me where I think that the concern comes in for me with the future of Cole Kmet. Now, for me with Tyler Warren, you know, listen, we're getting you this guy. It does become kind of the Ben Johnson show. And I think this is the case for Ben Johnson, for Cole Kmet, for Tyler Warren, for whoever is in there. If this is the play that I call throw it, that's kind of something they're going to have to help Caleb Williams with. But when you talk about somebody who, listen, if somebody said it in here as well, if we're going with the no block, no rock sentiment, Cole Kmet's out. And the one thing that I do like about Tyler Warren, especially on the outside, and I'm not talking about blocking on the line. He probably needs some work blocking on the line, but I'm talking about on the outside. Tyler Warren in the screen game will clear your soul.
Yeah, he's capable. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just that's really where I would be excited about him. Guess what, guys? I know you're gonna hate this. Ben Johnson's going to run screens. They work in the NFL. When people blitz, you run screens. It's okay. I know it's a regular football play when it works. But I think that's going to be the thing for me with the utilization of Ben Johnson. Do you utilize him in some of those DJ Moore screens? Do you utilize him to get him downhill, to get him quick plays, for DeAndre Swift screens? Because Swifty's not going anywhere this season. I think that he fits in a lot of those ways, and it's why I would actually be excited if we drafted a guy like Tyler Warren at 10. But again, when you're going Ashton Jeanty, if you're going Tyler Warren, you better not miss in the second round, in the third round. In the third round, you better not miss.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. I mean, we're about to talk about another fourth round pick. I'm not even about to. We're talking about another fourth round pick who basically has lost his job. Another failed Ryan Poles pick that has lost his job, and the season ain't even started yet. You know what I mean? Like that's you can't have that in this draft if you go with these luxuries early on. Let's take a quick break here. If you have not done so, and I know at least a third of you or 2/3 of you have it, because there's almost 200 in the chat. We only got 50 likes on the video. So hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to take a quick break, listening to a word from our sponsors. And when we come back, I want to talk about the trenches. You know, I love to talk about the trenches.
This is where you get a little tingly.
And two people that the Bears might need to take a look at if they are available here. We'll talk about them coming up next. But first, a word from our sponsor. Cue that aura music, baby. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I'm just talking about a couple of picks that the Chicago Bears should not make it. I'm kidding. Talking about why guys make sense for the Chicago Bears. We're not going off of the negatives. We're going off of the positives here. We talked about Ashton Jeanty. We talked about Tyler Warren, why they could make sense here with the Chicago Bears. By the way, speaking of Bears, the Cubs are down 6-3. What a start. Bottom of the eighth.
It's okay. 160 more games. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. You're playing one of the better teams in the league. Hey, go Cubs, go.
Yeah, it's good to know that you guys still aren't one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, we are actually.
Listen, have a fun season. You got what?
Yeah, you all too.
You got 87 games and some playoffs coming. Yeah, I give you that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, put some respect on it.
You want to know what I can guarantee?
What?
You won't see the World Series.
Right. Anything can happen, all right?
No, not in baseball. not really.
Make sure your Sox win a game all season. That's all I'm worried about.
We'll win 57.
Jesus. Good Lord.
They're bad, bro. I watched one preseason game this year. I'm not going to lie to you.
Trapper even said the White Sox haven't even played and still lost the game.
Yeah, hey, White Sox haven't played a game and they already eliminated from the playoffs, bro.
Whatever.
I ain't gonna lie. I turned the preseason game on for an inning and a half. We were down 9-0. I was like, click. And I gotta watch it behind the Chizen wall too. So
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Well, Stanley, I know it sounds crazy, but I grew up on Sammy Sosa, Derek Lee. I wasn't a Sox fan until they won the World Series. I never hated the Sox. Just grew up on Sammy. That's all. Yeah. That was my introduction to baseball.
Yeah, you can't be fans of both.
I'm a fan of Chicago sports, man.
No, don't cop out.
That still doesn't fly. Okay, fine. Screw the Sox.
Thank you. I hate when people do that. I'm a fan of both, actually. I like to see Chicago win. No.
If the Sox are in the World Series against some other random team in the whole league, I'm rooting for the Sox. If it's the Sox versus the Cubs,
you want to know who I'm not rooting for if they make the World Series?
I swear to God, you didn't root for us in 2016. How dare you?
I was incredibly indifferent because both teams. I was basically hoping for a Batman situation where the ground opened up and swallowed up both teams.
I'm
gonna tell you this: before the home run, when they got the final out, I was like, all right, Let them have their one. That's all right. I can deal with that. But when RJ Bell hit that home run,
oh
I
yeah,
was this close to my TV, and I was like, I'm finna get in a fight tomorrow because Cubs fans are gonna hate me.
I remember that. That did take out my soul, and I think LeBron was in the stands, just like going nuts too.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
remember all that. I remember that.
Bro, I was going to be the biggest jag that you had ever seen the next day. I was going to wear my replica White Sox ring.
Oh,
I was going to have a jersey on. Hey, what's good,
Right.
baby? What's popping? We in the building. Guess we got one.
You're that close. Jesus. That's
Hey,
okay. It didn't happen. All right.
Almost. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. All right, let's get back into it. Let's talk a little bit more football, my guy, because I think these are some names that are interesting and have some interesting connotation around them. Let's start off with Armond Membou. Now, the conversation around Membou has been that, he's a right tackle, Pat. Everything that you've seen from him has been at the right tackle. He hasn't played left tackle in his career. Why would you want to draft a guy like Armond Membou? To me, if I'm drafting a tackle in this draft, I think that Membou makes the most sense, comes with the least injury concerns. Now, Josh Simmons, of course, is a left tackle, but has he shown it in more than those 5 games of him being elite? Not really. Now, he did look good in those 5 games, and there's one versus some top competition in there. But for the most part, I do have questions on, well, was he having a hot start to the season, or is this actually who he is? Now, when I look at a guy like Armond Membou, I see the consistency, albeit on the right side. But the thing is the footwork all of a sudden going to disappear? Is the arm length all of a sudden going to disappear? The intangibles that this guy has that make him great, do they disappear by switching him from the right side to the left side? I don't know if that's the case there. Now, I would rather have somebody who played left tackle be at the top of this draft, right? If Will Campbell falls, I said Will Campbell's my number one option at that left tackle position, because to me, it's the attack over the arm length for Will Campbell, right? This guy's massively aggressive, and I think that he can be a monster at that left tackle position. But if I had to go with a guy like Armond Membou, I still think he has the toughness, he has the physicality. To me, the slide step is phenomenal. How he controls the defender trying to get past him is phenomenal. He does not allow himself to or the offensive line to be reset. I don't think that those are things that go away by moving him from the right side to the left side. And if you're talking about moving him from that right side to that left side, to me, it's easier for him to do that than a guy like Darnell Wright, who's already been established on that right side. And so I think that he would fit really well for the Chicago Bears there. 6'3", 314, just like I said, pure dominance at the college level. And has looked good versus top SEC competition. So I'd be in on a Membou. How's your Membou, as we like to say here?
How's your Membou? Oh yeah, how's your Membou? I love Membou as well. I like the Membou, all those great things. I think this is where me and you agree the most, Pat, is that if we were to take a tackle or another offensive lineman to beef up, the core that we already have, Armond Membou is that guy, and he's been rushing up the ranks in the draft. Oh, but is he backloaded? Shout out to Willie Lampkin.
Lampkin. Let me tell you about this guy. His back door is not open.
Jesus,
you know what I mean? This guy,
he's definitely backloaded. He has
also
masterful
Willie Lampkin
body.
in the 6th round. Willie Lampkin in the 6th round.
I'll take Willie Lampkin as well. You just got to make sure you put a couple steaks in him. He's a little small. I'm just saying.
He's not going to get much bigger, bro.
I'm a little scared. That's all I'm saying.
I need 20 pounds on Willie Lampkin.
But Armond Membou is someone that, if you were to try him out at left tackle, I think it would go well just because of the strengths that he possesses. Again, like I mentioned, masterful body control. I don't think that's something that's just going to tail off just because you have him trying to mirror the left side. He plays with very good versatility, very good strength, powerful contact at the snap as well with his defender. He doesn't really get moved out of position easily. A lot of people are saying, well, if he's going to play tackle, maybe he gets exposed by some of those longer armed edge rushers and defenders, but not as much. And when we're talking about pros, obviously, I think this would be an immediate upgrade over Braxton Jones. That is the only position on the line that I think needs to be addressed, or at least bring some competition in, right? You have Karan Amageji, who is, again, still trying to be developed. And so you want to bring in a guy like Armond Membou to challenge him and Braxton Jones for that starting position. I think that's going to go very well. I think people are going to fall in love with him immediately just because of the tenacity, the way he plays, the way he goes about his business at that tackle position. And I think it would be more so than not a seamless transition from playing right to learning how to play left, because we already have Darnell.
And what I do love about it is the big thing that I think makes it fit and makes it an easier transition for Armond Membou if he were to come here to Chicago is the fact that when you look at Membou's game, right, it's the pass blocking game that I think really stands out for Membou. It's the not the pass blocking game that does stand out. It's the run blocking end that I think really does stand out for Membou. And this is going to be a very run heavy team for the Chicago Bears. This is going to be a team that no matter what, and it's why I said yesterday on the Chicago Bears podcast, I've said it here as well. Braxton Jones is going to improve this season.
I agree.
He's better at run blocking than he is at pass blocking. Braxton Jones is going to improve this season. He's going to get better. He's going, especially standing next to Joe Thuney. I think that's going to be a position of strength for the Chicago Bears on that left side as well. Now, is he still going to get bull rushed? 110%. Is he still going to get moved out of the way? 110%. I don't think that all of a sudden that's going to change. But I think that the run game is going to just accentuate some of the things that Braxton Jones does well. I feel the same way about Membou. If you're going to have this run-heavy offense, if you're going to have this offense that you're just moving guys, that you're allowing your people movers to be people movers on a consistent basis, I think that fits Membou's game perfectly. And then on the flip side of that, is he improvement? Is he an upgrade over Braxton Jones at that left tackle position as far as a pass blocker? I think anybody is an upgrade at that left tackle position as far as a pass blocker. But, to me, it's that is the real question mark on Membou. Does he walk in and already, even though he's switching sides, is he improving that pass blocking on the left side? I feel like he is. Big Blaze with the super chat said, I'm behind on the stream, but drafting a tight end, I'm down for a smarter knockoff of Gronk or Hernandez. Hey, hold on now.
Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
Well, that was a killer combo. I'll tell you that.
Let's just hope he stays on the field.
Let's keep this thing moving along. That like button.
Jesus.
Subscribe to the page. How's your tight end combination? Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Aaron, please. Just
Jesus, that's just crazy.
I saw a bit. Somebody said if you can go back in time and talk to any player living or dead, who would it be? And Buddy was like, Aaron Hernandez, just to tell him not to do it.
Yeah. Hey, you got a lot of life ahead of you, buddy.
I was like, bro, that would have been the greatest tight end combination we had ever seen in a game, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. That was ridiculous, bro. Oh, tough.
That would have been nice. Would have been nice.
Tough time. I bet you thought you were gonna have a tight end combination. It's gonna be fun.
Oh boy, it was a Joker smile. Jesus, sinister.
Let's finish it off with this one, man, because I think this is a name that a lot of people are kind of out on in the top 10, and I'm trying to figure out why. And that's James Pearce Jr., edge out of Tennessee, had a phenomenal sophomore year where, just a dominant force, 6'5", 245, a dominant force, had a 13-sack season, was continuously killing quarterbacks, and then became the number one guy. And people started to focus on him, and he followed up his 13-sack season with an 8-sack season. And for some reason, that meant now he's barely a first-round pick. Ryan Poles said something the other day that I think really still speaks to the Chicago Bears possibly going with a pass rusher here in this top 10, and why I think James Pearce could be a fit there. He said you want waves of pass rushers. Said we all watched the Super Bowl, right? You want to have waves of pass rushers, referencing the Eagles' performance against the Chiefs. So if all the guys are getting better, and they're working together, I really think we can affect the passer. Therefore, it's going to put our team in a really good position. Like I said, you can't have enough pass rushers. We're always looking to improve that group, but I feel good about where we are today. Now, I think that the conversation on James Pearce falling is because a lot of people don't really know what James Pearce is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of people, when you look at, Mel Kiper has literally said, I don't know where to put this guy, so I'm going to throw him here. And he put him like 28. And I was like, well, that's not a good mock draft breakdown.
What was that voice?
I don't know where to put this guy, so I'm going to put him here.
That's a good Mel. That's a decent Mel.
Like, but you're still talking about a guy in 2024 who was at the top for all edge rushers in run stop rate, who was at the top for all edge rushers in pass rush grade. And I'm not saying he was number one, but he was still at the top for all edge rushers in run defense grade, and is consistently at the top, and dare I say, one of the best available when it comes to pass rush win rate. And yet we've talked about all of these other people out of 23% pass rush win rate. We've talked about all of these other people who fit better in that top 10 at that edge position. And I don't know if that's the case. Like, James Pearce Jr. to me is everything you want an edge rusher to be. The only con that I will give him, and this is a con at the next level, is when he gets around some of the more mobile quarterbacks. At least this season. And in the previous season, he did get the Jalen Milroe and stuff like that. But at least this season, he had a little bit more of a tendency to miss this year. Now, fighting through a lot more blocks. Fighting through a lot more pieces. If you're drafted at 10, I'm expecting you to be the guy that's fighting with blocks, that's getting the extra views and the extra coverage and the double teams, but still consistently being there as far as quarterback hurries, 43 quarterback hurries on the season. I don't think you can just look at James Pearce Jr. and go, nah, that's done. To me, the name that I compared him to, and this may scare some people, but is Leonard Floyd, but now. Like, not Leonard Floyd when the Bears got him and you were like, what the heck is happening? Like Leonard Floyd, but now.
That's a perfect comparison. That's where I was going. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think that Leonard Floyd now is good, but I think a lot of people are scared because they look at the build and they say, which is why, if you're listening to Mel Kiper, you don't know where to put him, is because the only thing for me that's a negative or is against him right now is his weight. At 245 pounds, as an edge rusher, he can kind of get misplaced as well when you're going up against some of the meatier tackles. He does have an explosive first step. Those are all the things we raved about Leonard Floyd coming out of Georgia at first. But I feel like he's scheme versatile. I feel like he's someone who can put his foot in the ground or his hand in the ground, but also can stand up and maybe be a hybrid linebacker-ish type of player because you have the speed. You saw the speed on display at the combine. 4.49 speed is nothing to cough at. And so he can be used in different ways. And I think if you get a guy like Dennis Allen and he get his hands on him to develop him even more and mold him into the best version of what he needs to be for this team, I have no problem with James Pearce. Now, do I have a problem with him at 10, though? With all the other prospects, I have a problem with him at 10. I know we're talking about pros. I think the pros of him essentially are his explosiveness, his first step, his ability to get to the quarterback and be versatile. But I believe you can still maybe get him at 39. I'm maybe. I understand that's still a name. I'm just saying, like, James Pearce was a name. You know how you have those names at the beginning of the year when we're talking about mock drafts for the next year. Like at the end of the football season, when we're first talking about mock drafts, James Pearce was a hot name. And then slowly but surely, when we're getting closer to the draft, we're never talking about James Pearce in the same breath anymore. We're not talking about Mikael Williams in the same breath anymore. That was another hot name that was supposedly in the top 10 when we were first.
Mel's got a mock to us in the top 10 after yesterday.
I'm not with Mel on that one. I don't know about Mikael at 10. But what I'm saying is that I honestly believe there will be better players available at 10. But so I would not take a James Pearce at 10. However, the player himself, what he could bring to the team, obviously knowing that we need, more depth at that opposite of Montez Sweat. We need more of an impact at that other edge rusher position. We're still developing Austin Booker. You still brought in Diet. I said Diet. Dio. I don't know why I keep saying Diet. Dio Adangbo.
Diet Adangbo.
Diet last time that somebody called me out.
Jesus. Slimming down?
So Dio Adangbo is on the other side. But when you bring a James Pearce maybe to be kind of like his understudy, that would be fine with me. But I'm not liking it at 10.
I think Dio fits kind of what Ryan Poles talked about with waves of pass rush, right? Dio can play inside and outside, and the versatility that he brings is something that I think absolutely needs to be talked about as well. We're viewing him as that opposite edge rusher, and it's probably where he spends a majority of his time, but he's somebody that can play inside, outside, right? Like Grady Jarrett's looking old one day. Hey, throw Dio inside, see what he's got there. You know what I mean? Like there's some the versatility makes it easier for you to find a spot for him on the field. The one thing I will say, just to the point about, James Pearce and, some of the concerns that I see people are listing in the draft, or in the comments, I should say. There's a lot of really good players that had concerns leading up to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually a slander fest going on as we're leading up to the draft.
Yes.
Remember all the concerns about Caleb Williams?
Mm-hmm.
How he was a god-awful teammate and people hated him and they were glad that he was leaving. And then, like, anytime you asked anybody who was around Caleb Williams, it never happened.
Loved him. Yeah.
remember all of that? Remember because it's like you for some reason in modern media, the way to do things, and it's not how I like to do them, is listen, you talk about the pros of everybody, but you say who you prefer. You don't have to trash somebody. And it's the LeBron effect. You know what I mean? It's the LeBron James effect. Everybody's sitting here.
Come on, trash and Bronny.
Michael Jordan's got to be the worst player ever, so that LeBron James is the greatest.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
I
like,
thought you were going to different angle.
Are amazing. Like, no matter what, one's the second greatest player of all time. Like,
still got Kobe, but okay.
Yeah, you're wrong. But no, like it's one of those things where it's like that's the only way for you to talk about a player now in the modern day is by trashing someone else. And it's why I wanted to do it this way for today's episode, because listen, all of these guys are good players. There's a reason we're talking about them in the top 10.
They're all first rounders.
They're all first rounders. Except James Pearce, apparently, in your mind.
Yeah, I that was a dream. He's not getting the 39.
That was a wild take, dog. Hey, Jordan JC's dark horse of the day coming in at the second round.
James Pearce falling all the way. That was my dream.
All the way to the 6th round. And of course, the dream, one we won't talk about here, top 10, but somebody who the Bears absolutely need to get on their squad. Willie Lampkin. Shout out Willie Lampkin.
There you go. There you go.
Lampkin. Light the Lampkin. I'm in.
Light the Lampkin.
I'm telling y'all, bro, go watch Omarion Hampton highlight. I was watching him again the other day because I was just like, why is he doing that, bro? He's 270 pounds. He shouldn't be moving people.
I see what you're doing. You're trying to act like you're not looking at running backs under the guise of looking at Willie Lampkin. But
I look at Omarion Hampton. I look at Omarion Hampton. I like him.
He's slick. You think
I like him. Listen, I wouldn't draft him, but I like him.
Makes absolutely no sense. I like a guy. I wouldn't draft him.
Listen, I like a lot of dudes in the draft I wouldn't draft. You got to draft what your team needs. There's a lot of dudes I like. I like Tatoria McMillan, Teteria, Tatata. I wouldn't draft him.
Oh my
I wouldn't
God.
draft
Whatever.
him. You know what I mean? Like, I like Shadir Sanders. I don't need him. I wouldn't draft him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Watch, that's the one thing that the Bears do. They freaking draft Omarion Hampton. They
You're right. You're right. Matt Forte, you remember.
They just go completely a different direction. I'm just in the. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would have resigned myself to Jeanty at 10. He would be there. I'd be like, fine, we're taking Jeanty. It is what it is. Omarion Hampton.
Just saying. Any other year, he's the first one off the board.
I'm telling you, whoever's around me when they draft running back at 10.
I'm gonna be right there in your face. You can punch me all you want. What do you think about that?
Right through the death.
You know what? I will endure a table.
Yo, that's gonna need some woodwork.
I'll endure a table slam for Hampton. That's fine with me.
Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I'm gonna be dying if the Raiders actually take Omarion Hampton at 6, because of all the people that's just gonna be like, no.
Oh boy. Yeah, I can't wait. You're right. Exactly, Joe. I can't wait for the draft party. Pat's gonna lose his mind. His mind.
We'll see. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We're going to get up out of here. We'll be back with more content today, as always. And, of course, if any news breaks, y'all know we got that coming. Also going to be posting on the Chicago Bulls Breeze today, so be on the lookout for that. Go follow that channel as well, and tap in with us on the podcast side. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy, Pat, the designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Go White Sox. See you right next.
Dark mind. Shut up.
If I can pick up JC, then he should be our DN.
You got a point. If you can lift me, hey.
You might have to help me, like it's WWE. You know what I mean?
Like, all right.
You got to get stuff up there, and then I
always laughed at that, like getting up on the ropes to flip somebody.
Yeah,
so just randomly, just guy's leg is just going up. Like, come on, man.
You want to know what's good though? If we do this draft party, I am gonna have a table set up for me to slam somebody through.
I vote you slam Ringo through the table.
No! Ringo will be the one that will be in on it too.
Avenge me!
Just right through the table.
Oh.